You know what you need to do. You know you need to eat better. You know you need to go to the gym. You know that you should start that thing that you've been putting off, yet you don't do it. That's not a motivation problem, it's a design problem, and it's completely fixable. Everyone thinks that not following through is a character flaw. Like if I wanted it badly enough, I would follow through. That's wrong. Willpower is a resource that runs out, and when it does, everything stays the same. The reality is, it's not that you don't want it, it's that your environment is not properly set up to make action the default. So there are three reasons this gap exists, and once you see them, you can't unsee them. So first thing is identity. Right now you're trying to act like somebody that you don't view yourself as yet. So, you're working, you know that you want or should be like, let's say like a runner or an academic or something, but you don't see yourself that way yet. You haven't convinced yourself in your mind. You're not saying, hey, I'm a runner, or hey, I'm an academic. You say, I want to be that, or want to be this. And the truth is when you start off, that's who you are. So, that first thing's that identity shift. Now, the second thing is our environment. And, like all of us, we want to live a comfortable life, myself included. But with that comfort, a lot of times we are not setting up our environment as a place to set ourselves up for success. Like we might be putting treats in the house, they're well intended at the end of a long week. You might want them, but the problem is when it's low friction, those bad decisions happen. So like I'll give a great example. Like at my office, don't get me wrong, I love going into my office. But my office, they supply us a shitload of treats. So I go into the break room where I go to get my water, never mind you, that is supporting a good habit because I'm a healthy person. That's what I see myself. But that damn snack drawer, well, in our case, it's a whole flipping shelf. It's like full of you name it candy. I'm trying to watch my blood sugar, all that. But it's way too easy to fall for that temptation. And I can't tell you how many times I have failed, just being honest, because the friction is so low versus like, let's take my house. I don't put that crap into my house. My house typically, not saying it's that all the time, but the bulk of the time, I don't keep a lot of sugary snacks and things like that in my house. So if I decide I'm getting that temptation that I want it, like I have to get in my car, I have to drive up to the store and I have to get it. It's high friction to make the bad choice. The not eating the sugary treat when I'm at home is far easier. The third and final thing that holds us back is ambiguity. Like a statement of, I want to work out more. When our brain doesn't have detail, it's going to default to the norm because it doesn't have something defined. It doesn't have a trigger. When you're just saying, again, I'm using workout as because that's easy. It could be any number of things. It could also be, I'm going to spend more time with my kids or more time with my wife. But like I say, it's unclear. And because of that, you default back into hanging out on the couch and scrolling all night or binging Netflix or something, because we need triggers in our life. That's what habits are built off of, and that's what consistency is built off, are triggers. And with ambiguity and vagueness, it's just not there. So how do we remedy these three reasons between the identity, the environment, and the triggers? Now let's attack these one by one. Identity. I know this might sound bad or sarcastic, take it for how you will, but you might just have to fake it until you make it. You tell yourself, I'm this or I'm that. I'm gonna use working out. I know that's like easy, low-hanging fruit. I guess so be it. But, start telling yourself, I'm someone who makes healthy decisions and I'm in shape. Now, you might not be in the shape you want. You might say my shape is round, right? But you start telling yourself, I am that person, and make yourself believe that. And you're going to start acting that way, that you're a healthy person. Or, like, let's take someone that you say, like, I'm one of those like smart people that knows a lot of random facts or something. That might be a little off the wall. You start telling yourself that. And what you're going to do is then, because you're telling yourself that, you're going to start following with some action. You're going to jump on the AI every night and just have a conversation about whatever new subject you want to learn, or find a YouTube video about it. It could be starting a business, or you've determined in your career path with the company you work for, I'm going to get this skill. You're going to say, I'm an expert in this. And as you convince yourself and you start thinking about how that end person responds to things, you start responding that way. Now let's talk about environment a little bit. So I kind of gave the juxtaposition or the comparison of my work environment versus my home environment for eating right. My work environment, the snack shelf is super convenient. Unfortunately, it's like right next to the water cooler, whatever the hell you want to call it, where I go to fill up my hydro jug and keep my water going. And so it's like, oh, filling up the hydro jug. Oh shit, there's some Skittles. Like, I can grab them just as easy. But my home environment's vastly different. And maybe I'll even add to the work thing. One thing I'm doing is trying to avoid using the water cooler. So I might also just snag a water bottle or two out of the fridge so I don't have to go back as often. So adding more friction to the environment. But at home, we avoid as much as we can having sugary snacks in our house. So what that does is, say I'm having a temptation for some M&Ms or something, I don't know. I have to get in my car and I have to drive up to the store and get that. So I have that temptation. By the time I would actually get it, that's 15, 20 minutes later. By the time I get in my car, go through the checkout, all of that. So I don't eat as many sugary snacks at home because I've added that friction. On another note with my home, I see myself, I'm a mountain biker, I'm a runner, and I'm a YouTuber, aspiring as it might be. So with these three things, I have added some things to my environment to reduce the friction. So you're watching my YouTube video, I'm going to talk about this a little bit. So I've created a space in my home and set up my gear in such a way you can usually see me in this space. But I've set it up so that I only have to flip a few switches. Like I turn on my lights, I turn my camera on, I turn the mic on, and I'm good to go. When it comes to my mountain biking, I keep most of my gear except for, my jersey and my pants, because, you got to keep them washed and not smelly, right? But I keep my shoes, my helmet, my pack, my tailgate pad in my truck. So that stuff's ready to go. So literally whenever it's a mountain bike day, I put all my riding clothes in. I'll usually set them out the day before because I'm planning ahead, right? And I'm pretty much ready to go. It's low friction. I'm not looking for stuff all over my house. It's there, it's in my truck, boom, out the door. So that's setting your environment up. I would tell you, go through your house, make an audit, throw the crap out that encourages the bad decision, and add stuff that makes life easier. Put the gear right by the door. I don't know. Just try to audit it. Go to look through your environment, throw the things out that are bad, and figure out some creative ways to make things lower friction, whatever it is you're working on. Okay, bringing it in for the third thing, not to keep this ramble going, but triggers. Now, triggers are those things that are going to give you that psychological prompt to act. Now, they could be anything from an alarm, they could be a notification on your phone, something with a plan. So I'm going to, hopefully, it will come up in some videos. So I apologize ahead as you watch through my library. But I recently ran my first marathon. And with a marathon, there's prep involved. You need to do certain things. You need to get your runs in ahead of time. I used an app that sent me notifications. I left those notifications on because not all notifications are bad, right? And so on my run days, I got a notification. Hey, Dan, it's the long run day. It's a speed work day. It's an easy run day. And it'd come on my phone in the morning. I had that trigger. Okay, cool. Today's a run day. You could even use the calendar on your phone. I don't know what the hell Apple's is, but Droid, you usually have the Google Calendar. You set that up with recurring meetings or whatever. So, on your day that you're going to work on your business or you're going to study that new subject, it pops on right around when you're supposed to do that. So you have that trigger, that alarm that reminds you. Heck, even if you have a partner and kids, you could say, hey, on this day, remind me that we're going to do this, or I'm going to do this, please, and have them do it. Find your trigger. I mean, play around with some things. There's a few ideas though, but attack each of those one by one. The identity, tell yourself that. Make your environment easier, throw the shit out. Put things in places that are easy, low friction. And then the triggers, use an app, use your Google Calendar, use your partner. Relying on willpower and build a structure that makes action the default. That's no hack. That's how consistent people operate. Now, I recommend you keep the journey going and check out this video up here that YouTube has recommended specifically for you and your journey. And with that, better every day.